We will be coming up with a great hour for you. Les is here and ready to go. We're going to talk about the Buick Wildcat. There's a name that's not been used in a while, Les, and they've got a very cool car coming up.
Always like that name. That and the Riviera. They were great names for Buicks.
They got to bring that back, the Riviera, don't you think?
Yeah, they should. Yeah. Well, they did in the 80s.
Yeah.
Didn't they? Yeah.
And then this is interesting. I don't know how to explain this, but we thought we were getting a brand new Subaru Crosstrek with a new interior, revised exterior. But this week, Subaru revealed the Crosstrek for 2023, and it basically has a couple of different trims and little updates here and there. No Crosstrek Wilderness. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here and when the all-new model comes out. I guess it will be a 2024. I was expecting something completely new. I was like, wow, look at that.
Yeah, I wonder why they call it that. I mean, they know it's not.
I don't know.
Or maybe they're saying that enough parts have been, rebuilt.
No, it's the same car inside, and we'll talk about it. And then we're going to talk about Polestar. Polestar will be available from Hertz as part of their Dream Fleet. This is the Polestar 2. Good-looking, clean car, all electric. We'll talk about that.
What do you suppose that'll cost per day?
I don't know. 500? I don't know. So we'll talk about that, and I'll have an at-the-wheel review of the K5, another great car, the vehicle formerly known as Optima from Kia. So stay tuned.
Aha.
This is Cruise Control. Your on-air automotive magazine with co-hosts Fred Staub and Les Jackson. Everything you need to know about new and used cars. Industry news. We'll fix or repair your car on the air. Fasten your seatbelts and let us take the wheel. Now, your ride is about to begin. Because you're on Cruise Control. Cruise Control. Cruise Control.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. As usual, we're live. I'm Les Jackson. The other guy in that other seat is Fred Staub. We have come armed with so many stories, so many things going on in the industry. We're going to do our best to get to all of them, but in fact, why don't we start right now?
Yeah, go for it, Les.
Okay, well, one of the things going on is the Buick Wildcat. That is to say, it's an old story, old name, great name for models that Buick made. They've revived it. They put it in a really cool-looking new concept, and we'll tell you everything we know about it, which isn't everything, but boy, is it. You can't not notice it.
Yeah, almost like a little Aston Martin-ish or something.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's cool. And then this is interesting, a very popular vehicle. We thought the Subaru Crosstrek was going to get a complete remake for 2023. New interior, new exterior. But really, it's just a light refresh, so we're not quite sure what goes on there, but we'll tell you about it, and we'll have some pricing, Les Jackson.
Yeah, it's kind of like detergents and colas, all new. Well, what makes it new? Well, we put that all new written on the label. Honda, by the way, says its new HR-V has more power. A lot of people have been asking for more power in that, and they say you got it.
Yeah, that's a true thing. I have a friend that has one, and she said, gee, I feel like I'm not getting enough power out of this thing.
Yeah.
And then Hertz has teamed up with Polestar. They're going to make Polestars available. Of course, it is the performance division of Volvo, all electric. And they're going to have the Polestar 2 in the fleet. Plus, They're also going to reveal the Polestar 3, which is a bit of an SUV. So we'll talk about that.
That's right. Hertz, I just checked with Hertz. They said if you want to rent a Polestar, you have to come with your investment portfolio. So it will be expensive. Anyway, talking tech, which we love to do. Toyota has passenger safety on its radar.
Yeah, we'll explain that one for sure. Yep. And also, I'm going to have an at-the-wheel review of the Kia K5 GT line. This is the vehicle formerly known as the Optima. Yes, it's a sedan. We keep reviewing sedans.
Love them.
Manufacturers keep putting them out, and we'll tell you all about that. It was a really fun car. All that and more when we get rolling on this edition of Cruise Control. That's a lot to get rolling with, so we're going to get started right after the break. Don't forget to check us out at cruisecontrolradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check out our YouTube page, and more. Fred Staub, Les Jackson. We'll be right back.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staub. The other guy is Les Jackson. We're glad you're with us because we love telling you about this stuff, and we've got stuff to talk about, including the return of the Buick Wildcat. You and I were talking during the break. Was the Wildcat a car at one point, a version of a car, or was it an engine?
It was actually both. They made the Wildcat in the 60s for a few years as a model.
Okay.
obviously their muscle car model, but the engines, if they put, a Wildcat engine in another Buick, it actually on the air cleaner said Wildcat V8.
I kind of remember my dad had a Electra 1960 with a 425 Wildcat. I may be misremembering, but I do remember that name. And this car, man, it's pretty stunning, isn't it? It's all electric.
It really is. It is. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. It is their EV concept. It is only a concept, but they're saying this will be the future look of Buick. And if you look at it, we talked about this a lot on Cruise Control. The cars, and by the way, this is an actual two-door. An actual two-door.
Wow.
So,
wow.
But you look at them, they are sort of like short rear deck, long hood, big rear glass. I don't know.
Side mirrors.
Yeah, it does have very thin side mirrors.
Well, it's probably cameras.
Probably cameras. Got the new Buick logo. And you've got to have like fancy dancy light show, I guess, in an electric car.
Yep.
It has the nameplate that pops up, which I think is kind of cool. And Buick says, right now they're basically SUV, but they want to get back into the car business with this gorgeous electric car. Definitely some Aston Martin up front, I think.
It's going to be a high-end car.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And some of the cues include distinctive semi-swing doors. Now, I don't think they actually opened them, so I don't quite know what that means, semi-swing doors. Do you?
Does that mean it comes out a little bit and then folds up?
Maybe, or maybe
like a Lamborghini?
I don't know. I kind of thought that too. Unique aluminum trim that appears to flow seamlessly into the interior seat structures. Micro LED lighting technology. Blade-style tail lights embedded into the roof sail panels, culminating in a checkmark horizontal lamp. An external state of charge indicator visible in the exterior hatch. I guess you showed
That's interesting.
Off, yeah. And Jet Age-inspired 18-inch spoke turbine wheels. 18-spoke turbine wheels are bigger than 18-inch.
They look like they really do look like jet engine turbine blades.
They do. They do. And that was all the rage. The Jet Age, the rockets.
Remember? Oh, it was, yeah.
So it's a 2+2 configuration. So 4 seats, 4 individual seats, and very, very futuristic and cool. I think it's a great concept. What will we see this? Do you think they will dare build a real 4-seat, 2-door car? Les, what do you think?
Will they build a Wildcat? Yes. Will it be a 2-door car? That's a interesting question. I think it'll probably be like one of the Mazda RX-8s were, where they'll give in to rear doors.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
Yeah. Interesting. I love the illuminated.
I like it. I think I'd love to drive that thing.
Yeah, just build it like that. Of course, this is years off, but certainly Buick needs some excitement, don't you think?
They do.
In their
they
lineup?
do. They make a good solid range of all SUVs, and they need some pizzazz.
Yeah, and I think the Wildcat might just be the key to providing some pizzazz for sure. And keep in mind too, Buick does very well in China, so they may be very well designing this for China. This is a little bit of a head scratcher. Now, maybe we all got ahead of it, and really we should have just been listening to Subaru, not from the people with various websites around the web saying that we're going to get an all-new Subaru and Crosstrek in 2023. But we kind of got one that was just updated. We'll tell you about the pricing and what's new for 2023 when we come back on Cruise Control.
Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control. Lesson Fred here. We started to talk about the new 2023 Subaru Crosstrek. New-ish.
well, here's the
it's
deal.
It's not all new, but it's new.
They're not calling it all new. What happened was the internet was awash with rumors, renderings of a vehicle that had a new front and rear fascias.
Okay.
More importantly, too, had a new interior that was similar to the WRX with a big screen in the center, which they've kind of been integrating into all of their lineups. And the thought was this is the 2023 Subaru Crosstrek. Now, this week, they announced pricing on the 2023 Subaru Crosstrek. And guess what? It looks very much like the 2022 version.
Yeah. So whatever the new version is, it'll probably be out next year.
Yeah. I mean, the newest thing on this is a special edition desert khaki exterior color.
Right. But it is, we don't want to confuse people. It's a 2023. It is new.
Right.
They didn't take an old car and call it.
No.
But it's just not a from the fresh piece of paper
Right.
new.
A lot of people are waiting for the Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness Edition. They have the Wilderness Forester, they have the Wilderness Outback, which I reviewed not that long ago, and that was going to be part of the new model and all that.
Right.
But this is basically a carryover with just the special edition in the desert khaki color. I believe they get a price increase across the board. Um, they do have the hybrid. The hybrid's been brought back, which gets an EPA rated 35 mpg and 90 mpge with a 480 total mile range. It still has all the great things like eyesight. Although it's interesting, you can't get the eyesight twin camera safety system if you get a manual. Although that might be changing too.
Because it has to talk to a transmission.
They might be changing that. Although who knows in the next generation if manual transmissions will even make the leap. So it might be, moot at this point. So prices have gone up a little bit, no surprise. There's not a lot new. This could be just a placeholder until the new model comes in. It is a great vehicle, by the way, the Crosstrek. And I do like those black wheels. What we're looking for, it's missing a couple of weird things. I don't know why this is, but it's missing dual zone climate control. You and I were discussing this.
Yep.
If you have an SO, significant other, sometimes heat and cooling levels are different. Typically, you said your cooling levels are higher, as mine are.
Sometimes heat and cooling levels are always different.
Well, currently in the Subaru Crosstrek, they don't offer the dual zone, which is weird because it's offered in virtually every vehicle. And they don't offer a heated steering wheel, which up north, I love a heated steering wheel.
Well, I do too. And any new vehicle we ever get is going to have heated seats. That's
heated. Yeah, they do come with heated seats, but no heated.
We have a
wheel.
Constitutional right to heated seats.
I don't know about that, but
well, I have just declared it.
I like them. Yeah.
Yep.
So the feeling was that this vehicle was going to get the interior like the WRX that we've seen across the Subaru lineup. It's got the dual zone. It's got the large vertical screen. And that there were going to be other improvements and modernizations on the outside. It didn't happen. Maybe that becomes a 2024 model. Maybe there's just a short-run model until they get everything squared away. It could just be what happened because of parts shortages. Who knows, right?
Sure. Right now, the parts around the world are in a state of flux.
Yeah. So, like currently, this has a little bit of an older 8-inch multimedia plus system that is not the same as what we're used to seeing in some of the other Subarus. So, what do you think? Probably half year on the 2023, and then
I think we'll see at the beginning of the year they'll announce that a 2024 model is going to be an all new design, because why not? It's a great marketing tool.
Yeah, and they just weren't really ready to bring out the new one, but they are. I mean, people are onto it. So there you have it. But talking about other small crossovers, of course, the hottest market, Honda HR-V. They have a brand new, slightly larger HR-V, more responsive powertrain, more upscale cabin, and it's got a 7-inch standard digital instrumentation cluster, available HD 9-inch color touchscreen, new fully independent rear suspension. That is really nice when you're driving one of these to have that. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. It's got a larger, more responsive 2-liter engine. This has been the knock on this vehicle
It has.
that it has just been slow. And every 2023 HRV is going to get the larger 2-liter 4-cylinder, pumping out 158 horsepower compared to the 1.8 engine that was its predecessor. This engine, this new engine, the 2-liter, will have 17 more horsepower and 11 pound-feet of torque. It is welcomed because I've driven HRVs and I thought, what's going on here? It seems really, really slow.
They were a little anemic. They didn't feel peppy.
Did not feel peppy. Very nice interior. Honda always does a nice job with their interior.
Yep.
Upscale. They've increased the quality of the interior and the parts and pieces. So I think it looks good. It's definitely got a Civic look with that sort of vented panel. I'll call it design panel. That has the air conditioner vents and a really nice integration of those. And there'll probably be, I would say, a hybrid version of this as well, but we don't know about it yet. It comes in 3 grades, LX, Sport, and EXL. And I don't know if we have pricing on this yet. No, we don't. I don't think we do.
Well, no, we have the pricing.
Oh, we do have the pricing. Yes, we do, and it's actually quite nice.
It's actually decent for the even the all-wheel drive's only 25,150 for the LX. Now, I'm a little disappointed, I guess, with the EPA mileage rating.
Okay.
Because 30 to 32 on the highway is just not very much.
Mm-hmm. When you think of something like that Corolla Cross hybrid that gets 37. So
yeah, it's just again, I wouldn't care about it if gas was $2.65 a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 5.25.
Yeah, and increasing. You're right.
Yeah.
The EXL top of the range. This all-wheel drive tops out at $28,950 MSRP with the $1,245 destination charge, $3,195. The numbers on that: city 25, highway 30, combined 27. And you know what it was, Les? They really felt this thing was underpowered. And so probably they said, hey, we have to, even if we hurt gas economy, hey, we made it bigger. And we had to put a bigger
that's what
engine
they did.
To get better
it'll be a couple of
performance.
years before that engine is refined enough to get better mileage. And you know what? You're right. They're going to just do a hybrid.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Hey, when we come back, we got plenty more to go. We're going to tell you about Hertz and Polestar. We're going to talk tech and have an At the Wheel review. Lot to do, so stay tuned.
Cruise Control.
Hey, welcome back to Cruise Control. Les and Fred here, and we're off to the Hertz office
For the
to rent
dream
us to rent us something.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that they're going to be teaming up with Polestar.
Oh, yeah.
To put some of those really nice Volvo electrics in their fleet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're terrific vehicles. I honestly don't know what vehicles are renting for these days, but I know it's not cheap.
No, we did that story, I believe it was last summer, and people were renting U-Haul trucks because it was cheaper in Hawaii than renting a car, because it was $20 a day for the U-Haul truck and like some ridiculous number for a regular car.
Yeah. The last time I looked was last summer, and it was for regular Avis Hertz rental car in Minneapolis. It was $85 a day.
Oh, my. Well, let's talk about this Polestar here. This is the Polestar 2. Polestar is going to begin delivering 65,000 electric vehicles to Hertz. It's going to be part of their dream fleet. And it makes sense. I mean, this is the smartest thing, even if it does cost $85 a day. If you're thinking about buying a Polestar, go rent one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And drive it around and charge it up and sit and try it out. Great vehicle. I think these are super clean looking vehicles, their design. Of course, it is the kind of the performance, I guess, could you call it the AMG of Volvo?
Yeah, I would. And it's, the following is enormous. They've taken 32,000 customer orders for Polestars since the beginning of the year.
Wow.
And that's an electric car. That's not just some other model.
Yeah. And of course, it has the Scandinavian styling that people love.
Yep.
And very clean looking. And you can get it as part of the Dream Fleet. Now, coming up from the folks at Polestar will be the Model 3. And this is going to be revealed in October of 2022. And I believe this is their SUV. I think it is a four-seat SUV. It will be have autonomous highway piloting powered by the best-in-class LiDAR. And it will have NVIDIA computing power. NVIDIA is the company we know from making graphics cards for your computer, but NVIDIA is getting into the automotive world. It will feature a dual-motor drivetrain with large battery and a range or target of over 600 kilometers. And, of course, this is their little teaser film that they have for it. But they plan on launching a new car every year for the next 3 years, keeping the name simple, 1, 2, and 3. And this is going to be their SUV.
I thank them for that.
3.
By the way, most people aren't aware that Volvo has been in the autonomous vehicle business for quite a while. They've had a fleet for almost 7 years. They've had a fleet of 100 autonomous Volvos traveling around the world. With their engineers and being tested, constantly modified with the latest technology. So they know probably more about autonomous driving or technology than anybody.
That is cool stuff. Definitely cool stuff. And I'm sure we'll be hearing more about Polestar on overall and on cruise control too. So we're glad for that. But let's talk a little tech, shall we? Cabin awareness. I know you and I on our press cars, we often get a reminder, a chime, check the rear seat, right? Because people leave kids, they leave pets back there, and you don't want to do that in extremely hot weather. And Toyota has some new technology that uses radar to sense what's back there. Is somebody back there? It can detect things like a heartbeat. It can detect maybe a kid under a blanket. or somebody that's hiding, in the passenger compartment of a minivan. And it uses technology that has been used by NASA. It uses millimeter radar to kind of sweep the passenger compartment and see if it hears, anything, if it encounters any movement. And then it will send you a text like, go back to your car. Somebody's in your back seat.
That's really cool. I like this, and I bet they'll share this with other car companies.
I would think so. I mean,
it's really nice because it's like a foolproof
right.
way of knowing you left your dog back there.
Right. Exactly. And you think about it. Right now, the system is very basic. All it is a chime, just and a message on the IP. Look in the back seat. That's it. I mean, it's up to you to look. You can ignore it, or maybe you'll look back there and you don't see anything. But like I said, somebody's under a blanket or hiding in the cargo compartment or something like that.
Or you've put a heavy box of carburetors on the back seat,
and it senses that.
So I've heard.
Box of carburetors, because I often carry a box of carburetors around.
Listen, what can I tell you?
Because you might need them. You never know. Like in case you want to swap out that fuel injection.
And the alarm started while I was going down the interstate, so I just had to listen to it.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I've sat my backpack with like a laptop in the front seat and have had to strap it in because it's flashing wildly saying passenger does not have seatbelt on. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just belt it in and then it's happy. But
yeah, I've done that.
Good technology, though, from the folks at Toyota, and I think we will be seeing this more often. I think you could use this for a home alarm system too. It would be one of the best, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a motion detector.
And if you have your vehicle sitting in a garage and a mouse starts to come in and chew on the wires, you would know about it right away. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about. We'll play prognosticator here now. Stellantis, of course, about a year ago, announced that it's going to have 4 platforms, the STLA. They're all electric platforms from small to large. The large would go up to about 500 miles of range and would be for large vehicles like the Ram pickup, like some of the larger Jeeps like the Jeep Wagoneer or Grand Cherokee L. So this week they announced, Stellantis, that the Windsor assembly plant will produce vehicles on the new STLA large electric platform, and that's retooling will start in 2024. Right now they produce things like the 300, the Dodge Charger, the Dodge Challenger, and it will be interesting to see what they build there. Do you think there'll be a new 300, an electric 300, Chrysler 300?
I don't think so.
It's a good value right now if you want a traditional rear drive car. And they still do produce it, and they still do slight modifications to it. But I don't know. Interesting story there, and we'll see. I think you're going to see that be the home of some of the big Jeeps and maybe the Ram truck.
Yep.
Who knows when it goes electric. Also, we should tell you that Nissan this week announced a Z race car, their new Z. It will be powered by a special new fuel, which is a clean fuel and what they call CNF, carbon neutral fuel. They don't say what it is. Could this be synthetic fuel like Porsche and others are working on? We don't know.
They're all working on it. Obviously, a carbon neutral fuel would be something that doesn't necessarily not have carbon, just it's carbon neutral.
It would be interesting to see if
Yeah.
if what they've come up with here. But that's all we know. It will be a carbon neutral fuel. We don't know what it is. It will be 2 cars numbered 230 and 244. Don't ask me what happened to the numbers in between.
Yep.
I'm not sure what happened to those. So interesting to see this. And, of course, racing always is the developer, the field to develop this type of thing. Who knows? Maybe next year at Le Mans, which is currently underway, we will see vehicles running on some kind of synthetic racing fuel.
I think that'll happen very soon.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, I'm going to have an at-the-wheel review of the Kia K5 GT line. We'll be right back.
Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. We've got an at-the-wheel review for you. Les, we call this the vehicle formerly known as the Optima. It is now known as the K5.
Isn't the Optima a nicer name?
Yeah, they went to this K and lettering
K5.
thing. Remember, their large car is known as the K9.
Yeah, the K9, which was a very nice car.
Yeah, K9. I mean, I like dogs, but, it doesn't quite translate.
No.
But this is another one of a vehicle, a sedan, sporty, all-wheel drive, comfortable to drive, decent fuel economy. And we're going to talk about this. This is the K5 GT line. It was in wolf gray, which when you see the video in a moment, it almost looks white in the picture, but it was more of a wolf gray. Incredible styling by the folks at Kia. The roof kind of transitions right all the way back to this sort of a fastback roof. Great red seats on the inside GT line. Lots of detail with some black piping and black stripes in the center of them. And just a very clean-looking, well-styled sedan with a lot going on for it. Now, the K5 replaced the Optima in 2021. It was brand new in 2021. So this is the second year for it. We're looking at a 2022 model, GT line. And basically what's happened here is they put on the newer Kia logos all through it and kind of refined a few things here and there. Ours had the 1.6-liter GDI turbocharged engine, 180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. If you need more, you can get the 2.5-liter T engine, which has a pretty impressive 290 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. And this is the GT line, so a little bit sportier, a little more fun on the outside, and it is all-wheel drive. Still, it turns back some pretty good numbers on mileage. 33 highway, 25 city combined for 28 miles to the gallon. Those red seats really make this interior pop. If it wasn't for these red seats, it'd be kind of, nice, but dark and not really stand out. Of course,
it's cool.
Kia has great switchgear and everything's got its own push button, which I love, and knob. And it had a sort of a thing where you slide your phone into the spring-loaded socket. The only problem was the automatic charging didn't start right away, even if you push the button. So that was a little bit of a problem. I don't know whether it was my phone having a case on or not, but great interior. Kia does a great job with interiors. I think other manufacturers could learn a lesson. The roof line swoops down in the back, so they did kind of some fun with the headliner to give you headroom. Out back, you pay the price, a little bit of a short deck and trunk lid, but it is deep and nicely finished with a big pass-through. Kia's done a nice job there. And another great thing to see is there's a space saver spare. Always look what your car has. Notice they save some money here without putting an engine cover on. This is the 1.6 turbo engine I told you about. It did the job well, although it was a little raucous at times, a little rough sounding, the exhaust note. I do love how that roof kind of goes right back into the fastback glass, and it's separated by a nice bit of chrome trim. All around, a very clean-looking car, and one that was pretty enjoyable to drive, I have to say. Now, we look at some of the numbers on this vehicle, and they're also not bad. By the way, overall score, 5-star safety score, so you really can't get much better than that. It is good news there. 8-speed automatic transmission, that's what they all come with. It has what they call the Kia DriveWise driver assist technology for forward collision assist for pedestrian, lane keeping assist, driver attention warning, leading vehicle departure alert, That's if you're sitting at a stoplight and not paying attention and that vehicle leaves, it will alert you like, hey, guess what? Really
That's
nice.
neat.
It's actually really nice. It works really well. Blind spot and rear cross traffic collision avoidance. This is great, especially if you're driving a sedan and you're a little bit lower than everybody else because everyone else is driving an SUV. It's great to have. It really works well. They don't cheap out either on their screens. 10.25-inch touchscreen with Navi, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. I believe they were wired. I'd have to check that. I don't remember. Exterior, LED reflector, headlights with on-off, amber LED daylight driving lights, GT Line Sport Grille, 18-inch Sport alloy wheels. Then we popped for a few options, which was the GT Line all-wheel drive premium package, panoramic sunroof with power sunshade. You'd love those sunshades, Les. The LED projection headlights, forward collision avoidance, Navi Smart Cruise Control, curve with stop and go, highway driving assist, LED overhead interior lighting, heated steering wheel. There you go. Cargo mat, carpeted floor mats as well. All so before the options, $27,690, and then with all the options, $30,285, and a very, very affordable by today's world, $995 freight.
Lower than I thought.
$31,280. Of course, this is made in West Point, Georgia. It's a plant that I have been to, and it is a neat plant. It has hardwood flooring on the assembly line. Very
Actually,
mellow plate, except where
that's
they're
good.
stamping the roof panels. Boom, and the whole building comes down and shakes. I was like, wow, you would not want to get your hand caught in that. But once again, a vehicle that I think some people don't think about. It's a sedan. It's all-wheel drive. Got a nice interior. Got all the features. Decent horsepower. Decent mileage. Something to think about. SUV alternative, right?
Well, you're right. And, you need to drive these things to prove to yourself that you don't necessarily need an SUV.
Yeah. Now, are even things like the K5 hard to come by at a dealer? I mean, these days, or
Probably.
are they ordering them, or do they order all SUVs?
I think they're ordering just a token number of sedans, and the rest is SUVs.
Well, you look at the lineup. I have pricing here for the rest of the lineup. It starts with an LX front-wheel drive at $23,790, and even their base models are well equipped when it comes to Kia. And then it goes all the way up to $31,190. There's a GT, which is a little bit, I believe that comes with the bigger engine. And then there's the GT line, which I drove, which is the GT, but with the smaller engine. And even the bigger engine does fairly well with 24 city, 32 highway, 27 combined. So you're not giving up a heck of a lot on mileage with that. But a lot of standard features, of course, the great warranty of Kia, and just a ton of standard features, nice interior. It's one to check out, the K5, and I like the red seats. I really did. I thought they really made it pop.
Yeah.
As I said in that video, you can't really tell. It was a nice gray. It almost looks white just because it was a bright, sunny day. But it is a cool color as well. So good job by the folks at Kia, one to check out. Hey, don't forget, check us out at cruisecontrolradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Find us on our YouTube page as well. It's time for me to say I'm Fred Staub.
I'm Les Jackson.
We're going to see you down the road.
All right.